One night, just after midnight, a little boy named Tom got out of bed. He was very thirsty, but his parents had told him many times not to go to the kitchen in the middle of the night. So he decided that he would sneak in there real quick to get a glass of water and then sneak back into bed before his parents woke up. Tom got out of bed and started walking towards the kitchen. It was completely dark in the hallway, so he turned on the light switch. But instead of the hallway lights turning on, the refrigerator in the kitchen suddenly turned on and started flashing all the colors of the rainbow. The little boy couldn't believe his eyes. "What the heck?" he said. And then he heard a voice. "Come dance with me," the voice said. And the boy could have sworn that the refrigerator was wiggling its door, like it was a giant pair of hips. Was this some kind of a magic refrigerator? What was going on here? Tom had many questions, but the refrigerator didn't wait for him to ask them. It opened its door and invited the little boy to come inside. "You want me to go inside there?" Tom asked. "Yes," the refrigerator said. "I need your help. Please come inside." Tom was scared, but he also had lots of questions. How did the refrigerator talk? Why was it dancing? What was going on? He needed answers. So he took a deep breath, walked over to the refrigerator, and slowly opened the door and looked inside. It was like a completely different world. There were colorful lights everywhere and funky music was playing. But Tom wasn't really paying attention to any of that. He saw something else. On a little stool in front of him sat a small penguin dressed in a tuxedo. The penguin was sipping on a tiny martini and watching Tom with big, curious eyes. "You sent for me?" Tom asked. "Yes," the penguin replied. "I am the head chef of this refrigerator, and we have a problem. Do you like pizza?" Tom nodded. "I love pizza," he said. "Well, then you can help us. We need someone to deliver this pizza to the old lady who lives at the end of the street. She's sick and she can't leave the house, so we bring her pizza every Friday night so she doesn't get lonely. But tonight, all of our chefs are sick, and we don't have anyone who can deliver the pizza except you." Tom thought for a second. "But how am I gonna get to the old lady's house? She lives at the end of the street. It's like 2 blocks away." The penguin shook his head. "You don't need to worry about that part. All you need to know is that if you help us, we will give you a free pizza as a reward." Tom loved pizza, so this was an easy choice for him. He agreed to do it right away. The penguin led Tom through a secret passageway behind the refrigerator, and they arrived in the old lady's kitchen in no time at all. The kitchen was very messy, and dirty dishes were piled up on the counter. But Tom didn't care about any of that. He put on a pair of oven mitts and picked up the pizza box. It was very heavy. He almost dropped it. "Be careful," the penguin said. "That pizza is very important. That old lady looks forward to it all week long. Please make sure you don't drop it." Tom nodded and continued on. He walked through the living room and saw the old lady sitting in a rocking chair in the corner of the room. She was wrapped up in a blanket and looked very sad. He walked over to her and said, "Here you go, ma'am. Your pizza." The old lady looked up at Tom and smiled. "Thank you so much," she said. "This is very kind of you." She took the pizza from Tom and brought it onto her lap. Then she did something strange. She opened the box, but she didn't take out the pizza. Instead, she pulled out a remote control. "Wait a minute," Tom said. "Is this pizza actually a TV?" The old lady nodded and pushed a button on the remote control. The pizza box opened up into a large screen TV. And Tom couldn't believe what he was seeing. The old lady pressed a few more buttons and an image appeared on the screen. What's happening? Tom asked. Are you a witch or something? The old lady chuckled. Not exactly, she said. You see, I'm not an old lady at all. I'm the queen of the fairies. I placed a spell on myself so that I would look like an old lady so I could live in peace. Humans don't like fairies very much. They're always trying to capture us and do all sorts of nasty things to us. So I prefer to live alone and in peace, away from everyone. She paused for a moment and looked directly at Tom. But you, young man, are different. I can tell you have a good heart. You came here tonight to help us even though you didn't know what would happen. You're a brave soul. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. And for that, I will grant you 3 wishes. Tom was very surprised. Really? Wow. Well, I guess the first thing I want is for my parents to stop getting mad at me for going into the kitchen in the middle of the night. The fairy waved her magic wand and poof, Tom's wish was granted. Very well, the fairy said. For your second wish, you may wish for anything you want, any object, any amount of money, anything at all. Tom thought about it for a moment. Well, this is a tough one. I guess I'll just wish for a mountain of candy. That would be pretty cool. The fairy waved her magic wand and poof, a mountain of candy appeared in front of Tom. Wow, this is awesome, he said. He started digging in right away. But after he had eaten a few pieces of candy, he started to feel sick to his stomach. He ran to the bathroom and threw up all over the floor. Then he came back to the old lady, who was now back to looking like the queen of the fairies. I don't think I'll ever eat candy again, he said. Well, that leaves only one wish for you. The fairy said, do not squander it. Tom thought about it for a moment. He could wish for anything in the entire world. But what did he really want? As he thought, he looked around the old lady's house. He saw all of the dirty dishes stacked up on the counters and piled in the sink. He knew that whoever lived here was very lonely. If he wished for the queen of the fairies to have a new house, maybe she wouldn't be so lonely anymore. So that's what he wished for. And the fairy waved her magic wand, and poof, the old lady was standing in a brand new house. It was a beautiful two-story house with a yard, a garden, and a white picket fence. Tom could see that the queen of the fairies was very happy with her new home. Thank you, she said to Tom. You are a true hero. For your bravery and kindness, I will grant you one more gift. You may take one of these magical beans with you. Whenever you plant a bean, it will grow into a magnificent tree filled with treasure. The fairy handed Tom a bag of beans. Thank you, Tom said. He walked back through the house and found himself back in the magical refrigerator. The penguin was waiting for him. Did you deliver the pizza? He asked. Tom nodded. I also got 3 wishes from the old lady. I used one to fix my problems with my parents. I used the next one to get a mountain of candy, but I didn't like that very much. So I used my last wish to get the old lady a new house because I knew she was lonely. And she was very happy about it. The penguin smiled. That was very kind of you. You are a true hero, Tom. The refrigerator started to shake again. I'm so glad you came into my store tonight, said the voice. We were in desperate need of your help. I'm so glad you answered the call. The refrigerator opened its door and invited Tom to come inside. Tom stepped into the refrigerator and everything went black. When he opened his eyes again, he found himself back in his own kitchen. The refrigerator was no longer dancing, and the only sound he could hear was the hum of the motor. He walked over to the window and looked outside. It was morning already. Tom remembered everything that had happened the night before. the dancing refrigerator, the talking penguin, the magical pizza. It all seemed like a crazy dream. But when he reached into the pocket of his pajamas, he felt something hard. He pulled it out and saw that it was a bag of magical beans. Tom smiled. Maybe having an adventure in the middle of the night wasn't so bad after all.